Welcome all, if you are here or tuning in, as you trickle into the award ceremony. Look at this beautiful scenery, the setting, the lights, the Zah. Look at it anyway, and be amazed by the characters and stuff that we had for that Shadows of Valentia run. So we're going to be introducing some nice characters from our playthrough, and let's go over who we had with our list right here. You know, you guys as viewers picked. So we're going to look this over. What's up, Koru? So let's look over the let's look over the list, the guest list, some eligible bachelors for some of these awards. Everybody's going to get at least one. They could be jokes or anything, but we got some awards right here, and we might as well talk about them. VIPs. So we got Lucas, Cliff, Luthier, Zeke, Tatiana, Faye, Gray, Delphia, and Tobin. And in Celica's group, we got Celica, May, Saber, Leon, Valbar, Conrad, Sonia, Paula, Katria, and of course, I misspelled it, but Jesse. These are the men and women that you have picked for our route when we were doing it. And I can't wait to get to some awards. Can't you, my favorite co-host? That would be where my co-host would take over if I actually had one. I don't have one, so I'm on my own for this award ceremony, so I hope you guys are all ready. This one's done a little differently. They're not your eligible awards right now. They're going to be more jokes, pictures, memes, anything we can come up with, I've got ready to go. So the award ceremony is going to start right now. Don't get up unless you're getting food. Then get up and get food, because I'm kind of hungry as well. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. If you gotta go get food, or you have to leave, it'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Twitch. It'll be somewhere on social media. Just stick around if you can. If you can't, I understand. The award ceremony is a very delicate thing. So let's just get underway and get going, because I have a lot to present and not much time. Well, I actually am budgeted on the TV network for like an hour, so we're good. Alright, let's switch over some tunes and getting into a classic song right here for some award ceremonies right here. Alright, starting off for this award ceremony, this beautiful award ceremony, we got the classic right here. We got Alm. Now I mean, he's pretty good, right? So let's zoom in and try to see what his thing is right here. So he's got the award for Bloodthirsty Lord. Man, he's got blood all over. Look, his eyes give him the shifty eye. This guy is a menace. He killed, and he proved it to get his falchion unlocked. He has to kill over and over again a bunch of gargoyles, all that jazz. But essentially, this man never died. He had a high kill count, probably the highest on the route. Who's surprised? He's just an absolute monster. So he is easily one of the most bloodthirsty lords I've ever had in any game. So he's definitely getting that award, and you can see by all this nice crimson across your screen that this guy was just devastating. So I don't want to spend too much time on lords themselves. We just knew Alm was going to be good. He was good. And that's all we have to say about this gentleman. So congrats, Alm. You did it. As predictable as you can be. Let's get into the real units, though. These are the units that my viewers got to pick. This is where it gets more and more interesting. All right, so stepping up here, okay. We got a VIP stepping up here. We got Lucas, who was picked very early in the draft. I was worried about Lucas. And then he showed up, and he gets the award for Fated for Worst Death in the Run. So the only way I can imagine this ever happening is this: a fortune teller predicted that some kind of fate would befall him. He had the absolute worst death in the run. If you don't remember, this man died to Desay with 1 hit left, got critted by a 2% crit, and died right before I was about to get the Draco's shield. Rest in fucking pieces. Now, Lucas, in order to make him viable, I had to make him a Dread Fighter, because he would have been too slow in his class. But once he got to be a Dread Fighter, he took off. He was a monster, never died, besides, you know, that whole Desay thing. But that was predicted, you know, that was fate, you know, he had to have died. That's the only way I can explain it, because it makes no other sense otherwise. So, we're going to give him Fated for Worst Death in the Run, because that's the only way I can viably say that his death should have happened. Because it doesn't make sense to me. So some fortune teller got a hold of him, and the story is there. So other than that, Lucas was a solid unit, but I will say that it took a villager fork to make him a really solid unit. But God bless Lucas, and God bless his red hair. Alright. Let's talk about more units. Okay. Oh man, I can't wait for this one. Okay, this man's a god. So his award, or his picture, Cliff, one of my favorite units, probably my favorite villager, probably one of my favorite units in Fire Emblem in general, because you have so much you can do with him. His growths are very fun, I guess. Lots of speed. He's all aboard the carry train. This man, I would honestly, if I were to give for an alms route without using villager forks as an asterisk, this man would get the MVP for me. Not counting Alm, because he didn't take any investment. He was an archer. He sniped everything. He crit every boss, or at least most of the problematic enemies he just took care of. He's fast as shit, so he never got doubled and died. I don't think he died once. He had a high kill count. This man was just all aboard. He's the carry train. So hopefully people are jumping aboard. I know Zeke, Tatiana, Faye, all of them were like, dude, I need to get on Cliff's back right now because he's too OP. He's too OP. So this man, absolutely astonishing what he's able to do. And he's got that smug look too, because you know he was ready to get this award. He was playing for the MVP the entire time. So this man, honestly, there's not much really you can say about him, that he's just OP as shit. So if you got Cliff on your team ever, you're probably doing a good job, and he's going to be back up for more awards, maybe. I'm pretty sure this guy is going to go places in the future. And by go places, I mean he's going across the continent and marrying Lind. You know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, congrats, Cliff. Probably one of my favorite units on the run. And if I had to give an honorary MVP of this run for Alms route, you probably get it. Okay. Oh, wow. Who is this man? Oh, is it Reddit in human form? The orange hair is blinding me. Oh, my God. I can't deal with it. It's... I'm astonished that this guy gets an award that's so prestigious. That's right, everybody. It's your favorite redhead, your favorite older brother, your favorite closet-dwelling nerd, Luthier. Now, this guy... Oh, I really can't say too much about this guy without... involving how broken he was once I changed his class. So apparently, I got his bio right here, right? So I was handed this secret file, and they told me what to do. It's top secret. They're like, this guy, he's a killer. All you have to do is change his class to a sniper, and he becomes super sniper. He's a secret weapon from the government. I don't know. I don't know who even gave this to me. If I say who gave this to me, I'd be put to death. So when I heard this file and I did what needed to be done, or else I was going to get executed on stream. I made this guy a sniper, and by God, I don't regret it for a single minute. As a mage, he probably would have faded into obscurity and been a disappointment. But as a sniper, he killed everybody. And when I said sniping bosses for Cliff, I legit, this guy would crit with like 40% crits almost like every time. I could go back and probably make a crit compilation for Luthier alone, when he's just critting, and I'm just like, wow, he's critting every time. He had 42 skill. 42 skill. Now, if I'm giving an MVP to somebody who got reclassed in Alms route, so I'm probably going to give it to Cliff normally. But this guy, if I count reclasses, I might have to give it to Luthier. And what a coincidence that they're both goddamn archers. They're pretty strong. But the secret weapon fucking lives on, and I do not regret doing that ever. And look at this. Look at this. This is how you know you got confidence right here. You cover the bangs over the eyes. You got the glove, kind of, whatever thing he's got going on here. He's showing off in front of his sis. You know, this is Reddit in human form right here. So that's why you know it's going to be really strong. But Luthier, when I got him, and I heard the news before I got this file right here and told me what to do, I was going to be like, I'm fucked. But now, he fucked everybody else. So, God bless. Well earned. Debatable MVP right here. Happy to try it out, and I'm looking forward to actually trying different stuff with him in different playthroughs. But Archer's the way to go for me, at least. Alright. Oh, this is a fun one. This is a fun one. Okay. Okay. So, unfortunately, I was, you know, walking through this event right here, and I happened to find some lost possessions every once in a while. You know, VIPs drop something like that, and you never know who it really belongs to until you kind of like put two and two together, find some names on the identification, purses, wallets. And I found a wallet one time and had an ID card in it. And I was like, okay, I got to return this to the person who lost it. Because when you go to a glitzy event like this, I know it's high quality, you need to make sure that everybody leaves with all of their stuff, or else they're not going to want to come back for another event. Well, here's an ID card that I found, right? One time. And this is a dashing man, you know, let me tell you. He's really dashing. He's got the nice little Freddy from Scooby-Doo scarf, an ascot kind of right here, the dapper ascot, I'll call it. Nice mask too, you know, and it says Zeke, but I don't think this looks like Zeke, you know. And then underneath, I don't know if he's trying to bamboozle me more, but it says, "I swear I'm not Camus," and I get a little confused because he kind of looks like Camus, you know, from the other Fire Emblems, but if he says he's not Camus on his identification, then I have to follow it. So, in all seriousness, Camus / Zeke / whatever the fuck you want to call him, Sirius, I think his name is in FE3. He's a solid unit. I think he only had like 10 kills on my run. By the time I got him, Alm's route was already kind of like done, and he was already kind of behind. Everybody else got over XP, and he really couldn't do that much damage. It sounds really lame, but it's not like he was a bad unit. He was more for show and, you know, loving Tatiana than anything and being a shield for her. I'm not disappointed I got some backup right here, but man, this guy's a stud, and he was good, but I swear if he came earlier in the game, he'd be busted as shit, and I'd use him all over, but unfortunately he came too late and couldn't contribute as much as you would think, so that's where Zeke falls. But here's this identification. I'm gonna go take this to this guy, make sure he gets it, and once I return it to him, I'll take his mask and probably give it out, you know. But Zeke was good, just too late in the game to really contribute the way I would want him to. Zeke, I guess. I swear I'm not Camus. Maybe. Alright. Oh! Wow, I didn't know you were coming. Oh, shit. Well, I don't really have a seat prepared for you or that big of an award, but I mean, I guess I can kind of put I guess I can have this kind of award out for you. Sorry. What was your name again? I'm sorry? Oh. Yeah, I have an award prepared for you. Sure. Yeah, Faye, you get the honorary Pinata Award. Failure. Yeah. It's not the most prestigious award, but I'm sure it's something, you know. You like that pun on your name, Failure, you know? Yeah, you get it because you were a punching bag the entire time, and for my viewers, and for every enemy that wanted to gut you like a fish. And because Alm shat all over your dreams. That's why you're a punching bag, and yeah. That's basically all we really need to say about Faye, right? She, you know, healed some people and stuff, and got bopped in the pretty face. Pretty? Yeah. I'm just gonna go with the word failure right here. Failure. Alright, well, sorry for not saving you or reserving you a seat. Maybe next time when you are a different class. I mean, Cleric's your best class, so. But you're grosser. Yeah. We'll get him next time. Maybe you won't get the Pinata Award, so. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yikes, that was awkward. Hopefully I don't run into that. Oh, shit! Oh! A different healer! I thought this was the one that was coming up, but it's somebody else. And it's, That's it. This is the one I was expecting. This is where... back to the main, awards right here. As we coming into the award ceremony right here. I've seen her on a magazine before for beauty, elegance, all kinds of stuff. And I swear, I think she's related to Zeke in some capacity. This is a real healer. This is who I thought was coming before Faye showed up and mucked everything up. She's very famous for having very good beauty tips. I mean, how can you get this cascading, flowing hair like that in battle, you know, all the time? I have no idea. But she did it, and I really, you know, am jealous of her fashion tips and stuff. She also was the best healer in the army because her competition was a living pinata. But that living pinata at least helped for a little bit before she came and fortified everything up. But she also, not only does she look good, she also has the heals on lockdown and perfect fit for, definitely not Camus, I think his name was. Yeah. But I got a seat reserved for her. Thank God I didn't give it out to Faye. But in all seriousness, she's a healer. She does her job. She's not gonna die unless you like really put her out there because she has Physic and Fortify. She can be safe. Very reliable. Very good. That's why, you know, everybody wants her and needs her or uses her because she's just good at what she does, which is providing very good fashion tips. So keep that in mind. But yes, Tatiana was pretty clutch right here. So congrats. Oh shit! Another villager's coming in. I'm sorry about your rags and stuff like that, you know. But this is another fan favorite coming in the award ceremony right here. He's named after a color in quotation marks. If you count it as a color, some people wouldn't. But you know, we got Gray now. Gray, he's kind of like shrugging because, well, I went the obvious route with him. And the obvious route was to make him a Gray OP as a Dread Fighter. Who would have guessed? So it's like, is he good as a Dread Fighter? Yes. Is it surprising that he's good as a Dread Fighter? Probably not. That's his best class, and probably the only one I can really make work and activate all of his potential in a run. So he's very strong. He comes at the very beginning. Him, Cliff, and Tobin probably carried the entire beginning, along with Alm and, you know, Lucas. And basically, those guys just carried the entire run. And then Luthier's like, I'm going to throw my hat into the ring. But Dread Fighter Gray, before Lucas became a Dread Fighter, was the man for the job for holding all my swords down and using the lightning sword and just zapping people all over. So, Gray is OP. Astonishing, I know that. So he gets the award for just being completely obvious, and I guess a meme of him scratching his own head. So our next guest, our next award, or our next participant right here, you might recognize from a famous TV show that's been popular on Netflix recently. It's a pretty strange show about, you know, supernatural powers of some young teens, kids, whatever you want to call it. They're very, you know, majestic, some might say, and they involve some might say, supernatural. Part 2. Stranger Things Part 2, starring Delphia. Wow. What can I say about her? She's the star of the new season. Delphia goes from being a quiet youngster to almost one-shotting every enemy. Her battle-to-kill rate was the highest on the team. I think it was 70 battles and like 56 kills. So when she entered a battle, they were dying, and that's pretty strange, you know? Like, you don't expect them to die almost every time, but once you're hitting, you know, double 30s with your speed and magic, this one ends up happening. So, I know she's going to do really well on her next, the new season coming out. I've seen her do all of her, you know, magician, magic, wizard, witch kind of things out there, you know, all of that fun stuff. And I'm sure she'll kick some ass in that TV show, so I'm really happy for her that she got the part. But yeah, she was great for my team, and basically the S unit of Alms Route, and showed up her brother and how to really do magic, and then he took up a bow and showed her how to do everything correctly too. So she's OP if you give her the time and train in terms of magic capabilities, but if you don't, she kind of slugged behind. But you know, when you only have 10 units to focus on, I have time to focus on her. So she became really strong and one-shot everybody. So she gets that one-shot award probably for the probably for this run. She is the Nyx of this game, by the way, if you watch my other run. If you didn't, it's on YouTube. Or, no, it's not on YouTube. But just know that Nyx broke the game by being a witch. And she was the closest thing to breaking the game by one-shotting people anyway. Luthier is the guy who broke the game, but she still had that one-shot potential like Nyx did. So I'm really happy for her, and congrats on the new season, Delphia. Congrats. Alright, so this is the last guy from Alms Route, and he snuck in. He's being interviewed on the sidewalk right now, and I kind of want to talk to him, just kind of get his feel on how he thinks the run went. He's an everyday dude. He kind of just talks about what's on his mind. He's kind of the backbone of your army in terms of being there when you need him. He can be a mage, archer. I've seen him succeed on all of them. He's a solid unit. Basically, you can fill him as a hole for any... You can put him to fix any holes you have in an Alms Route early, and that's why I really like him as a unit. But he's being interviewed over there, so I'm going to go outside and talk to him real quick. The press is swarming him, obviously, because he's got a really nice haircut. They're interviewing him, and he doesn't look too pleased with being interviewed right now. I wouldn't be either, because, you know, he's trying to get to the award ceremony quickly. But, you got this nice, fine young man. He's the average guy. He just succeeds. He just kills it where you need him to. Didn't die. Healed with Physic. Got X-Cal crits. He just did everything. And that's why I really like Tobin. And I guess that's why the news likes him as well. You know, because who doesn't like the man everybody can represent? The people, I guess. Blue collar worker. Maybe this guy will get elected president. Who knows? You know, he seems to represent just the average person, you know. I'm sure if he ran, besides getting an award, he probably could be a president. Who knows? But Tobin's a hole filler. Do I want to say it like that? Sure. He's a hole filler. He fills holes. All kinds of holes. We're just going to go with it more, you know. But yeah, Tobin just succeeds. He's average at everything, but he'll do exactly what you need him to do, without question. And he might, you know, only give you a little sass here and now, but congrats, dude. Your award's sitting on the table when you get away from these people. I know you're kind of swarmed, so. We're going to change pace real quick here, and by changing pace, we're going to also change songs. We're going to change to Celica's route now. So let's just start off with a little prelude about Celica's route. There's a lot of death and destruction and pain and suffering on Celica's route. Alms route was nice and happy-go-lucky. I had like 3 deaths on Alms route. But I just want to show you something real quick before I get into Celica's route, you know. And then we'll talk about Celica a little more. So then we'll give out these awards. So let's showcase it by bringing up Celica's little tab thing. Look how many deaths there are right here. Look how many deaths. Look at this. Look at this. There's so many skulls. Like, I almost have a graveyard on my fucking screen. Like, look at that. Oh, look at that. Graveyard. And emotes and stuff. So, it's almost amazing on Celica's route if you didn't die. So let's start off with that. If you didn't die, you're already creme de la creme of this route. And we'll talk about it when we get there, but I see some guests arriving, and I want to make sure I can get all their awards in, you know, in time and such. So let's prepare the awards for these people, and that way let's just prepare the awards. How about that? So we'll switch back over. I just wanted to show you how many deaths I had. Alright. So I see some people coming in, and just like the carpet matching the drapes right here of this nice award ceremony, we got the redheaded hero herself popping in. She did have one shining moment during the campaign when she one-shot Jetta. That was pretty cool with a Ragnarok, with a crit. Like, I think it was like a 16% chance to crit, which was pretty baller. But I think there's been like very breaking news on her. Newspapers have been spreading around and all of that jazz. She hasn't gotten good publicity in a long time or a while. So hopefully this award ceremony kind of clears up her name. But these are what the newspapers have been saying, the tabloids, the fake news, you know. They've been saying she's the most gullible lord ever. I mean, can you buy it? The Daily News, like, look at this. I mean, she does look wide-eyed and naive right here. That's a good shot. Good photo, you know. They must have snuck that in when she was really excited about, you know, seeing Ulm or something like that. I don't know. But she was pretty gullible, and throughout the entire story, you kind of go, like, just smack your head about the decision she makes. Yeah, she's not the brightest, but like I don't know. I think she I think the news is correct. They did their research, you know. All they had to do is play the game once, and they already realized, wow, Celica, man, you really gotta not believe the evil-looking priest guy. You know, he's probably a bad guy, but hopefully this award ceremony kind of clears up her name, and even though she's not getting an award, besides this, you know, me handing her this newspaper again. So sorry about that. Ulm is pretty good in comparison. I guess he's a better foil for you. I don't really know how you want to call it. So I'm sorry, Celica, but I had to do this to you. But don't worry. Don't worry. Some other people on your route will make you look a lot better. I can promise you that. So I can for sure promise you that. Alright, so I'm really surprised that this person's still standing. I've seen it on the news. There was a news story that was put out about this ponytail, pink-haired girl, this Harley Quinn wannabe. There was a ceremony, or there was a news story happening about her dying, and then dying again, and then dying again, until they had to make a news story about something else and completely different. And it's more breaking news that after her third death, she was resurrected and still comes back to finish the game, to defy all odds. And I'm amazed that May contributed that much to my run. She's very clutch and at the same time unclutch because she died so many times. She's very frail, and you know, she's got ponytails, so that's risky too. They can get caught indoors and zombies can grab them. You don't want that, so you got to shave your head a little more. But she defied all odds and made it back. I can't say the same about everybody on this route, but she didn't die, and for that she deserves an applause and a news story made about her. She's basically the Lazarus of this game. So congrats, May, for not dying 4 times. You only died 3, so you're a hero, and you were very helpful for the time you were alive, which was less than I would want you to be. So congrats, you made it though. You made it. I gotta give you props for that. Okay, so this is the only person I think that deserves really the recognition of not dying on this route, because Conrad came so late that his death is not surprising that he didn't die. But this guy, he doesn't even have a picture. You know, he's so hidden and just like hard to reach. And I'm surprised he's even showing up at the ceremony. But the reason is because outside we programmed a custom kind of like Batman-like signal to kind of flag him down to make sure he would arrive because he's got shit to do. I understand. So we, you know, flagged him down with a, you know, kind of bat signal kind of thing. So hopefully you enjoy it, what we kind of put together. And he's going to come in right here. He never died. And MVP of this route, I think, for sure, if you're just rating off pure usefulness. But here's how we got him to come in. We sent a signal up in the air, the bat signal, of Saber, save us. Because there was, like, so many times where I'm like, Saber, like, look, we're going to fucking die if you don't, like, kill this guy. Or, like, you don't tank every hit. Or yada, yada, yada. Basically, make it so May and Celica don't fuck everything up. Or some other people that will be mentioned later. But Saber, literally, if you're looking for an MVP candidate for this route alone, you probably have to look at Saber. He's the Cliff of this side. Not flashy, but got the fucking job done. Tanked, killed, never died, was there when you needed him, looked good, had an eye patch, and has, you know, a slick voice, and he made it home before supper even ended. So you got to give him credit for this. So luckily, whenever you flash the Saber signal, he saw, and he conquered. So this guy was a legend. If you get Saber on your run, you're probably really good on Celica's route. You're probably good for the rest of the game. Literally can carry the entire run. So congrats, Saber. You totally earned it. No one else could get this award, so you earned it. Alright. Oh, wow. Leon. Okay, so Leon, in comparison to my other archers, doesn't look as flashy. He looks good right now, though. He's a very dashing man. I will give him credit for that. So he's coming into the awards ceremony with some swagger. As always, who would have guessed that he wouldn't come in with some swagger? But, you know, Leon, I will say this. Whenever you needed him to kill a unit, or you needed him just do some chip damage or something like that, Leon was there. Leon would probably say something like this: I got your back. Valbar, whenever you're in trouble, I got your back. I want more than just your back, but I got your back. And Leon was there for my back, you know, a couple times. He shot over my, you know, body and hit people with arrows. And that was good. And Leon was good for what he needed to do. So we'll give him, I believe Valbar actually got a tattoo for Leon because he wouldn't give him his love. So he said the second best thing I can give you is a space on my back. So he got a picture of Leon that says I got your back. And yeah, I think it's very fitting. You know, it looks good on Valbar. He's got this, you know, nice muscly body. He has longer hair than I thought he did, but this is what happens when your love gets denied. You might not get Valbar's love, but you got his back. Alright, so that's pretty good. And it's a good picture, too. But Leon was there when you needed him most, and I'm pretty sure Valbar appreciates it as well. So thank you for doing that, Valbar, because I didn't want to get tattooed on my back of a gay man. That's not what I really want to be doing with my back right now. Maybe later. But thank you for taking one for the team and giving this guy the closest thing to an award he's going to get. So, deuces. Speaking of Valbar, so he's after he puts all his armor on and stuff like this, I did see that he was visiting schools, colleges, campuses all over across the country, and he was answering a question. I'm really lucky that we have this guy here for this award ceremony because he's basically been, you know, traveling to any country that would take him, giving him his life story, and giving seminars and stuff like that. And his seminar title, surprisingly enough, and then he would do like a presentation afterwards, the Valbar presentation. This is his seminar title. Can Dreadfighter make him viable? And he would, like, you know, he would show a picture of himself, and then a speaker would be like, fake that it's like, you know, he's doing the presentation, and Valbar himself would finalize it. He's like, yes, it does make me viable. And he would just automatically start talking about that and all why he's viable now, because he's strong as shit, immune to damage besides magic damage, and actually can move around the map in deserts and stuff, and swamps and all of that jazz. Basically, the ninja tank of the army, this guy becomes. I do not want to give him the MVP because he took a lot of resources to do so, and he still died a couple times, so he's not perfect. But yeah, when you get that much of a boost, you have to go around the country bragging about it, and basically answering the question, can Dreadfighter make anybody viable? And yes, it really can, because the class is busted as shit. So I'm glad he gave these presentations, and we found the answer out to an age-old question. So rather than give him an award, I'm going to give him a fist bump and say congrats on the seminars, and hopefully the rest of the things you give out are pretty good. So congrats, Valbar. Dreadfighter carry you to something actually useful, and I'm not surprised, in all honesty. Dreadfighters are busted, and Valbar as a Dreadfighter, busted. Especially with his growth of a knight, so. Alright. So, I thought this was Camus walking in, or Zeke or something like that. I get confused with all these masked men. But I've seen this guy around town, not actually in person. He's wanted by the police, actually, for evading taxes, all of that jazz. Tax evasion's a very horrific thing. I'm pretty sure he probably stole a car, too. So him showing up at the award ceremony is probably going to cause a stir and a buzz that I really want. So I'm happy about that. At the same time, I'm worried for my, that it gets shut down and locked down. But hey, I did pick up one of these wanted posters, and I wanted to showcase it to him, and just in case he actually wanted to take one home. And he's wanted, masked man. Basically, Conrad comes in at a time where you can use a tank that is mobile if you don't have Valbar, but I had Valbar that's mobile. And again, kind of like Zeke, rather than make a viable award for them, they come so late that, like, they're good, but I'd rather just make a joke about their mask and stuff. So, I wish he... I don't know, I wish he came earlier, so that's why I said the wanted portion right here. And I really do wish he came earlier and was a unit I could play around with more, but unfortunately that's not the case. And he comes so early or late that you're already kind of defined in units and you already kind of have your team established by then. So Conrad becomes more of a bonus unit rather than an actual carry unit. But hey, at least he looked good on this wanted poster. That's pretty slick. I like that. But Conrad, you can take this wanted poster home with you and show it off to your sister that you actually were good for something, or at least money-wise, you probably are worth some amount of gold marks. Who knows? Okay, so this is probably the hottest celebrity we've got going on right here. Just off her new platinum album she just released. She's basically the Madonna of our time, Britney Spears of our time. She's a diva. What can I say? She's just astonishing. She's got a self-debut album, so she's definitely going to bolster our sales of our awards ceremony just by showing up here. And I took a picture of the album that I bought, even supporting her, because I thought she was really good. And I'm really glad I got to have her on my team so I could experience this. So we got the Sonya, not Sonya Blades though, Sonya's Excalibur Critical Hits. This is her debut album. It's a very slick album, I know. But it's gonna go, it's gonna sell all across the country. It's already gone platinum, and it's probably going to go amethyst eventually. I don't even know if that's a thing, but we'll make it a thing. Might go emerald, might go sapphire. Just add in ratings for free. I don't really care, but basically, it relates to her getting a crit with Excalibur and abusing that the entire game, and it's OP as shit. So she would just Excal crit everything, and honestly, she's the luthier of this route. She would showboat, flashy, all kinds of stuff, get all these magnificent crits, and just showcase all of her abilities and other assets. Some would say, other assets, and yeah, she's good, and I'm really glad I got the chance to use her, and I'm glad her album's selling really well of Excalibur's critical hits. So it's like the greatest hit album, even though it's her debut album. That doesn't make any fucking sense, but just let me do my joke, damn it. But I'm really glad I got to use her, and she was pretty OP. So fun unit to play around with. Alright, so, oh shit. Okay, well this one's in, oh shit. I just realized that, I had an open slot saved for this person, and it turns out they can't make it because of them rotting in the ground. It's a sad thing, because I thought they were alive and well, and then all of a sudden they stopped coming back from the grave. Twice. And she got crit twice. And it's just the saddest thing imaginable. The closest thing to a game over you can have when you get crit with really low percentages. And it happened twice on one run. So her spot is not reserved at the it's not reserved at the award ceremony anymore, but I do have a song I can play for her, I guess, besides the game over song. here you go. Instead of like a sad song, I can play this happy song of you messing up over and over again, because you were the fail unit of the entire both routes. Even failure did better than you. Yeah. Paula died 4 times too many. She died a lot to the stupidest stuff. And as a Pegasus Knight, she was like really slow, which is unfortunate. Paula. There's not much to say about you except you suck. A lot. And I thought you would have been better, but... Well, this gravestone kind of emphasizes that you really weren't, so... I'll just let the gravestone do the speaking for me, and just kind of move on to the next person, so... just know that she was bad, and died. And if you want to know what happened to her, I guess we can find some clips of her getting crit and owned, but... you know, unfortunately, Paula dying had ramifications on the rest of the sisterhood of Pegasus Knights, and well, it left one devastated, one blue-haired maiden really devastated, and she was really sad and went off the deep end after, you know, she got back from Valentia and wrote a book about her tales. And she couldn't get work as a Pegasus Knight anymore. She was good, but she just couldn't get work as a Pegasus Knight, and she ended up having to write books and child stories, and eventually she, you know, became an alcoholic and fell into a really bad job of being a Easter bunny that would go to child's birthday parties and Easter parties and stuff around April, May-ish, and she wrote a book about her exploits, and here she is right now. I mean, she can maybe explain it to you, and I'll do my best to kind of fill around the gas. But Katria, right. So, her self-titled book of autobiography, at least for the Shadow of Valentia story, is Life Without Big Sis, and you know, details how she had this horrific tale of Peter Cottontail of, you know, doing all kinds of rabbit stuff and having to dress up like this to make a healthy wage because no one would, you know, buy her services after Paula kind of ruined the White Wings' reputation. I can't really blame her, but in all seriousness, she was probably one of the more solid units on my run. Do not let the bunny suit deceive you. She was really good, and she required probably the most investment to be good. That wasn't a class change, but, you know, she was still really good. Terror Slayer, all of that jazz. I still think like units like Saber and Sonya were more reliable than her, but she was probably up there in reliability halfway through on Celica's route. And that's saying something considering how many people died, and she almost died too, but she lived to tell the tale. I just don't know if, you know, she actually wanted to, based off what happened to her afterwards. So, sorry about that, Katria. You are now like a living meme, at least in my eyes, but you did good in my story. Better than Paula. That's not hard to do, but whatever. And last but not least, we have the good-looking man himself, one of my favorite units on the route. And that's pure bias. I can't hide it at all. I just think he's a cool guy. Even if he's a cool guy, though, that doesn't make him, you know, maybe not the not the most heroic figure in the route, but he did his part. You know, I gotta give him credit. He would stab some people, get some kills every once in a while. He wasn't the biggest player on the map, but he did better than some people, which is, again, on Celica's route, not hard to do. But he contributed. I just don't know how much he actually contributed. So he is the equivalent of, you know, when you're a little kid and everybody gets an award, a participation trophy? Well, sometimes they feature children or young kids on cereal boxes, on Wheaties boxes. And he's a Wheaties hero, you know? He he's a Wheaties hero. He'd be portrayed on a cereals box like, yeah, he's not the Saber of our time, you know? He's not that, or the Sonya, or the Cliff, or the, you know, Luthier, but, you know, he's pretty good. He's enough. He's he's the equivalent of a small child fighting. He did some damage and stabbed some people and showboated and all that jazz, and you got to look up to him for trying. You know, he did his best. So he's the Wheaties hero. Come on, he's just a good guy, and I'm happy for him. You know, he did his best out there. So like, what else can you say about him? But he's a Wheaties hero, and I think he could have done better, but at the same time, I had to balance out, you know, training other units as well. So maybe next time, Jesse, in my normal game, you're a boss. You're not a Wheaties hero. You're just an actual god in that one. But in this game, Wheaties hero fits you perfectly to a T. So that is what I'm going to roll with, and that is the. I think that's everybody for the award ceremony right here. So we got them all, and but we got everybody in. The awards have kind of settled down and such. So I'm happy with how the route ran, and it was very fun doing Shadows of Valentia. So just know that it's going to be closing right here, and we're going to play this one again to close it out. So thank you again all for the units that you picked for Shadows of Valencia. It was a really good time, and I'm glad everybody showed up every once in a while to the stream. I know you guys have all busy lives and stuff, European times and all that jazz. I hope to do as many PMUs as I can in the future. It's fun doing these kind of joke route stuff as well. So that's also a good time. And, you know, even some units, if they fail, it still makes the run really interesting and all that jazz. And giving out these awards is a good time as well. So that's going to conclude the award ceremony for Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia. It was a very good time. It's one of my favorite games in the series. It went smoothly for Alm's route. Cellguzzle was a little iffy, but we had Saber. We're good. In terms of credibility and where credit is due, before I move on to the next topic, I want to bring out some guesses that were correct. So anybody who said Faye was a failure on this route was correct. So that is Phantom, congrats, haha, and hello. Anybody who said Luthia was a fail, which was me, was a bum. So 8-Ball, you're a bum. Thank you. That's me. Cliff was a good guess too. He is the MVP as well. So I think this is a really good guess. Hello and haha. So haha and hello got both of those pretty much nailed right there. And some of these other fails are not the best either, but Alm's route was, you know, pretty hard to predict. But we got 8-Ball saying Jesse was the MVP. I don't know if he was drunk when he made that guess, but he also said Catcher was a fail, and he missed the wrong sister. Paula was a good guess, so Haha's just been on fire with her guesses. And Hector also guessed that too, so that's pretty good. Leon was okay. Saber, Mouse, that was a perfect guess. You nailed that one, so I got to give you credit for that. And yeah, he's an MVP. Easy. So I just wanted to give out those shout-outs that run while they still could. That's going to do it for this portion of the award ceremony. It was a good time. Post-game will happen later, I think this week. But before we do post-game, and I want to kind of now get to the next part of this stream that I mentioned that was going to be in the title right up here above you, if I'm pointing correctly. Or it's below you. Yeah, it's below.